My name is Ryan, I'm in recovery. Today marks 24 days clean and sober. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I'm 38 years old. I'm documenting my recovery journey through TikTok videos. I was heavily addicted to cocaine for many years, and it all kind of came to a head earlier on this year. I went to rehab, and I've been documenting the journey since leaving rehab. I was actually about 110 days clean, I think, and then I relapsed, and now I'm back on the wagon 24 days in, and feeling good. I feel really energized. If you've seen the recent videos I posted, you'll know that I'm house sitting in this beautiful country estate outside Canterbury. It's actually Christine McVie from Fleetwood Mac's old house, which is amazing. And it's just like, loads of land, loads of space in the house. Like, I've got like 4 lounges. It's just a beautiful place to spend time. And it just feels really like, it's got a really lovely energy here. It's really peaceful. So I've been sleeping really well, getting up early, being really active, spending lots of time outside, just wandering around in bare feet on the grass. It's just really, really nice. Taking advantage of all the kind of facilities. It's like as well as a family that live here that are Amy's friends, it's also used as a business. They run like wellness retreats here, and they have like a glamping thing. So we've kind of been utilising those facilities as well. Like last night we used the wood-fired hot tub they've got and set it up and sat in that for a little while yesterday evening, which was lovely. Oh, it's actually just here, the hot tub, if you can see it. Yeah, there. And there's the tents. But yeah, I feel good today. I actually thought of a funny, I don't know, is it funny? DJ story that I would tell. As well as document my recovery journey. I also worked in the music industry for many years, and I've shared a few kind of stories about my time running shows in London and stuff like that. But yeah, there was one DJ that I used to work with quite regularly. He used to do quite like kind of a show like once a month, or I can't remember how often, but pretty regularly he'd do like an all night long set at the club that I was looking after, and I'd always host him. He was actually one of my favourite DJs when I was younger. He's got a really well established radio show. It's been running for years and years and years, and I used to always listen to that, discover lots of new artists and new music through his radio show. So I was excited to start working with him and kind of hosting, taking him for dinner and running the shows with him and stuff like that. And yeah, he was a nice guy, quite like scatty. He's one of those people where you feel like every time you meet him, you wonder if he remembers who you are, even though you've met him like 10 times, that sort of vibe. And yeah, I'd always look after him, and kind of, as I mentioned before, one of your kind of roles if you're like hosting the DJ at an event is to make sure they're well watered, they've got the drinks they want, they've got any drugs they want, stuff like that. And this particular DJ, he's pretty long in the game. He's a bit of a legend, kind of considered a tastemaker, I guess. And he also gives off quite a like a wholesome vibe. So I never really expected that he would want drugs and things like that. But yeah, there was one occasion where this is maybe like after I'd looked after him a few times, so I guess he was a bit more comfortable with me, but he kind of took me to one side and was like, "Can you get me some Coke?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I can sort that out for you." But he was like, "But I don't want any of my kind of team to know." He had like a kind of assistant who was always there, and his manager that was always there. Had like maybe a crew of like 4 or 5 people that would always be with him at his shows. He was like, "Yeah, make sure you kind of hide it from them." Like, I was like, "Okay, fine." So I kind of went and organised it, sorted it out, and then he was like, "Yeah," he'd kind of be like, "Oh, I don't know, can you show me to the toilet?" Kind of make a bit more of a show of it in front of his team, and then I'd show him to the toilet, give him the Coke so he could do a line, and off he'd go. We'd normally do one together. I'd kind of rack it up for him, and we'd do one together, and he'd go back and carry on DJing. Anyway, yeah, this kind of became a bit of a routine on all the shows that I worked on him with. But it actually got to the point where it was quite a well-oiled process. Like, he wouldn't even need to really ask me. He would basically just kind of make eye contact with me and just go like this and tap his nose, and that would mean he wants me to go pick up for him, rack up the lines in the toilet in the kind of green room, and yeah, do it like that. And yeah, it was always funny that he hid it. I think it was even his wife would be there often as well, and he would always hide it from her. There was one time where I guess he was in a bit of a party mood, and I picked up for him as per usual. He kind of worked his way through it, and then at the end of the night he was like, oh, I really fancy getting some more. Do you fancy kind of like sticking around and having some drinks and hanging out? And like I said before, this guy was like a bit of a hero of me when I was kind of younger. When I was first starting getting into dance music and DJing, I'd always listen to his show. I'd often discover new music through him, so it was quite exciting to have kind of the opportunity, I guess, to just kind of hang out socially. So yeah, I ordered in more Coke, and his team all like kind of went home, and he was just like, oh, I'm going to stay behind and have a drink with Ryan. And yeah, we did that. We kind of ended up sitting just down in the green room, and it was at the time really fun. I got to kind of pick his brains, chat to him. He's got a long storied history in dance music, so it was great to kind of hear some of the stories he would tell, and people he would talk about and stuff like that. And we ended up having like a massive session that lasted, must have been about 10 hours. I only just remembered this as I'm telling the story, and after that session I ended up going home. I hadn't been looking at my phone during the whole time either, which is a bit shit from me, but yeah, ended up going home, and my girlfriend at the time was there, and she was like, basically lost her shit with me, and because I came home and I was like high and stuff like that, and she was like, what are you doing? This is so mental that you behave like this and you just disappear. And I was like, well, it's one of my heroes wanted to party with me. I didn't want to say no, so I kind of did it, and then maybe I got carried away and wasn't looking at my phone and lost track of time, blah blah blah, and she actually kicked me out. And it took a fair bit of grovelling and fixing to try and recover from that one.